All right, let's settle the age-old question. Does money make you happier? I say it depends. It depends on who you ask. Ask somebody without much money and they will say, hell yeah, it does. Ask somebody with money and feels guilty about it and they will say, no, money doesn't make you happy. Ask somebody with money who is comfortable with themselves and they will say, yeah, to a point. You see, it's a complex topic because perspective shapes reality. The person without much money will feel like those with money don't understand the difficulties of life when paying the bills is an everyday stressor. And the person with money will insist that their pains and problems are just as real, albeit different, than those without greater means. The question isn't whether having more money eliminates certain problems. It undoubtedly does. Money is a privilege, whether earned or inherited, and that means less stress. That's not debatable. But does having money mean you'll be happier? This is where it gets a little bit muddled. From a scientific lens, the data is mixed. Years ago, research suggested that money doesn't make you happier beyond earning $75,000 a year. A new study says that that number is now $200,000 per year. And certain people seem to get more of a boost from money. Those who are generally unhappy will see the biggest surge when they hit $100,000, and the benefits then seem to taper. If your general well-being is high, then the potential for money to make you even happier extends as you earn more, but there will be a point also where there's diminishing returns. Just know that if you're rich and miserable, more money won't help. And of course, money won't help alleviate the suffering of life, such as loss, heartbreak, or clinical depression. It always drives me nuts when rich people tell other people that money can't buy you happiness. It does. Trust me, it does. I'm not douchey enough to list the many happy moments money has paid my entry into. Just take my word for it. As a mentor of mine used to say, money can't buy you love, but it puts you in a much better bargaining position. And money won't solve all your problems, but if you get that money problem solved, you can solve the rest of your problems in style. Money can definitely buy you a lot of comfort and it can make life much easier. But here is the key point. I don't think that comfort or ease is the same as happiness. You can be the most comfortable person in the world and still be completely miserable and depressed. I've known a lot of miserable, angry, rich people. Oh, and I've known a lot of miserable, poor, angry people as well. They were just also uncomfortable. I do think that we all should pursue making as much money as we want, to stretch our capabilities, to force ourselves to learn, to grow, and to become better, to see what all we can do with all we've been given. Income, net worth, and wealth is a measure, but it's not the only measure. But it is one, and it's a concrete one. As Jim Rohn would explain, you can't go to the field and say, I really need a harvest. I really need a harvest. The field will look up at you and say, then you really need to plant. Don't give me your need, give me your seed. You have to go to the marketplace with your seed. You have to plant it. You have to care for, cultivate, nurture, and grow your seed. You have to protect it from the noxious bugs and weeds that would destroy your seed. You have to survive against the elements of rain, wind, and the scorching sun. If you do, then you reap a harvest. Then you reap a raise. Then you reap a surplus of wealth. And what can you do with that surplus of wealth? If happiness tapers off after a certain number anyway, well, here are a few things for you to consider. Number one, security. Money buys you financial peace of mind and your family's physical safety. Health. Money buys you many more options to take care of yourself and to take care of your family. Education. Make no mistake, money buys you access, thus prestige for you and for your kids. Growth. Money buys you personal growth. The programs, the workshops, and the coaching that leads to self-awareness, self-esteem, and self-enlightenment for you and for those that you care about. Travel. Money opens up the doors of the world to you, beyond backpacks, campsites, and hostels. Yes, money will buy you a shot at lots of peak experiences and memories. It also buys contribution. Money puts you in a position to be able to help other people, and in a meaningful and significant way. Here's a good quote for you. He who said money can't buy happiness hasn't given enough away. And my two favorites, time. Money can buy your time back. If you have money and you are not using it to buy time so that you can spend it in the way that you want, with who you want, you lose. And most important to me, choices. Money buys you choices to do what you want, to do it the way you want it done, and to do it with who you want and for who you want, without compromise or having to settle for less. Simply put, money gives you power, the power to help, and the power to say no. Does that mean money equals happiness? Well, I'd say so, but you have to decide for yourself. You're welcome to share your thoughts below. Tell us how money has increased your happiness, and or tell us how you intend to increase your happiness with more money. And I look forward to reading your thoughts. Happy Friday, everyone. So a woman is on a date and she asks her date, "What do you do for work?" The man replies, "I help other people look better." She says, "Oh, are you a plastic surgeon?" He replies, "No, I'm a bartender." A lumberjack goes into a magic forest. "You can't cut me down," the tree complains. "I'm a talking tree." And the lumberjack responds, "And now you will die along." What is the fastest liquid on Earth? Milk. It's pasteurized before you even see it. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Brenda is out walking with her husband, Chris. "Look at that bunch of cows," says Brenda. Chris says, "Not bunch, herd." "Herd what?" asks Brenda. "Of cows," says Chris. "Sure, I've heard of cows, silly," says Brenda. "No, I mean a cow herd," says Chris. And Brenda replies, "So what? I have no secrets from cows." Have a great weekend, everybody. See you on the flip side.